Namaste, beloveds. This is Motherhood Wisdom, and this is the third part of listening to the great teacher. And of course, this is the card portion of this. And so let me get into it. The first was what Spirit gave to me. The second part was from the Medicine Woman's deck, and it was an hour all by itself. So let's move into the third part of this, and we get the snow leopard from the messengers from your animal spirit guides. And let's see here. I'll show you the card. Snow leopard has come up recently in a couple of other shows, either video or Blog Talk Radio. And I invite you to listen or watch those so that you can know what was said about it then. As it is reappearing, the message is very important for this particular time and space. It's doubly important, so to speak. Take some time out of your usual life and spend it in solitude. And it's on page 111, 111, which is a 3. And 3s were showing up, 3s and 6s were showing up in the Medicine Woman reading, very much so. And the last part, all of the chakras were grouped in pairings of 3. So 3 is very forceful right now. That energy is very powerful. The fact that this is 1111 is very powerful, beloveds. And I believe something was 46, which was 10, which is also a 1. So pay attention to, I invite you to look for what number 1 means in writingthebeast.com, and it'll give you a full breakthrough of what it means geometrically, numerically, biblically, spiritually, and so forth, metaphysically. Okay? So let's get into the snow leopard. Take some time out from your usual life and spend it in solitude. It can be difficult these days to spend time in solitude, to unplug, get off the electronic grid, and find a quiet place in or near nature. Yet it's important to do so at this time. Turn off the phone, computer, and television, if only for a few hours. Although you may feel a little anxious and restless when you first do so, these feelings will pass. Use the time for contemplation and meditation. It's not isolation, it's solitude. Solitude is a conscious and loving choice to be alone for a period of time, while isolation is a habitual and reflexive coping pattern to avoid discomfort and intimacy. Wow, that's a big difference. It's a big difference in frequency and spectrum. It's a big difference in intimacy. It's a big difference in your personal stand as who am I, as the self-inquiry. This is a very deep one. Isolation versus solitude, especially for me. But let me keep going, beloveds. Solitude is a conscious and loving choice to be alone for a period of time, while isolation is a habitual and reflexive coping pattern to avoid discomfort and intimacy. If possible, take a full day by yourself and just do whatever you feel like doing. Whatever length of time you spend in solitude, be sure to write as often as you can in your journal. If you should feel guilty or anxious about the thought of doing this, or even while you're actually doing it, use your breath to help you relax. This is also interwoven and intertwined, beloveds. you've got to listen to all 3 of the videos that have come before this to really understand and listening to what is being given in order to understand the treasure trove that is being emptied out to us at this time. When we think that so much negativity is happening, there is also the equilibrium of so many gifts being given and being restored, and we're being asked to reflect upon this. And again, this can be seen from the planet Pluto, coming back around in a certain position every 284 years. That's a 14, that's a 5 as well. 5 came up in the second video as well. So there's a lot there, but there's a lot here, beloveds, to unpack, to receive. If possible, take a full day by yourself and just do whatever you feel like doing. Whatever length of time you spend in solitude, be sure to write as often as you can in your journal. And I shared that my daughter had given me this as a holiday present for the seasons. And it is a journal. And it is Moth and Butterfly. And Moth and Butterfly has been coming up for me, beloveds. So all is connected, all is speaking to me synchronistically in one spiritual language. And this is all expanding my spiritual conscious awareness as I am listening to it, really listening. If you should feel guilty or anxious about the thought of doing this, or even while you're actually doing it, use your breath, the first gift, to help you relax as much as you possibly can during the period of alone time. Remind yourself to breathe and relax. And in the second video, breath and breath work came up as a deep, intimate part of our sexual creative force, and regulating that and being intimate with that and being aware of how to maximize and minimize that, how to contract and how to expand that within ourselves, how to bring it back into us, and how to project it outwardly with breath. And to find a partner that is very reflective of your spiritual energy. Maybe not so much your nature, because our natures sometimes need to be opposites. So it's not so much the natures. It's not so much the person and the personalities, okay? Because they may differ in all kind of ways. But you want your spirit to be reflected by the being that is going to be your sexual partner, okay? Okay, let's keep going. Whenever you notice your breathing becoming shallow, take 3 or 4 slow, deep breaths and watch how your tension and anxiety dissipate. Enjoy the feeling of having the sacred space of solitude surrounding you, and remember, you're never really alone. You're never really alone, okay? Snow leopard, that is that gray and black and white, and it's kind of brownish on here, and those eyes. I really want you to understand the energy of snow leopard, and I want you to expand upon your knowledge and your listening ability by doing some research, digging into the metaphysical, the spiritual meaning, the meaning as a totem animal, the biological animal itself, its terrain, what it attracts, what it hunts, the seasons and its cycles, its mating habits, so forth and so on, beloveds. It is very important to, when it comes to listening to solitude and understanding that solitude is not isolation. Okay? All right. That is this card. The next card came from a deck I don't usually, well, I'm not usually drawn to pulling from. Okay? And that is the Romantic Angels Oracle deck. It is one of the first decks that I got when I started getting into tarot, got into the Angel Oracle cards. And I really love the Oracle cards because they give you so much. And the card that came forth was Express Your Love. Go ahead and make the romantic gesture. Express your love. There's a lot there in that card. Express your love. Let's see what Doreen Virtue has to say. It is on page 27, which is a 9. Express your love. Go ahead and make the romantic gesture. This card urges you to take the initiative in your love life. That may mean contacting someone to whom you're attracted and asking that person out on a date. It could also mean sending flowers, texts, or gifts to your beloved. As you express romance, these feelings pour through you. You actually become the biggest beneficiary of your romantic displays as you enjoy how they make you feel to an even greater degree. The more you give love, the more you experience it. Of course, do make sure that you're also open to receiving the love that comes to you from God, the angels, and other people. This is so powerful for me, beloveds, because due to my traumatic and dramatic and very lived out loud relationships that I've been in, and I've only been in a couple, beloveds, but they were very, very powerful for me as a being. And as a being, once I found ways to be intimate, my thing was unreciprocated love that allowed me to pour my love, my romantic feelings, be as romantic as I wanted to be, and understand that this person has no interest in you at all. Okay? And no interest at all. And you are steady pursuing this because it is allowing you to feel all of this romantic stuff, to feel the hurt and the pain and the blah, 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 and the la, 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 all of it, without directly, truthfully being intertwined with this person, with this being, because they've got their shields and walls up, okay? And you're going in this open, but you're knowing nothing is going to come through. So you're safe, you're protected, and you get to feel, and you get to romance, and you get to love, and you get to court, and you get to be as bawdy as you want to, and you get to be as bossy and as alpha as you want to, or you get to be as submissive and prissy and missy as you want to. And it's all about this role that you're playing, that you're expressing, that you are experiencing, that you're allowing, that you're manifesting. Thank you, Mama. That you're manifesting. But this takes on the form of a scorpion that can also sting you to death. So it's not an easy thing. And you can get so caught up on your own Kool-Aid, okay? You can get so high on your own supply that you begin to have a difficult time. Is this real? Or is this just Memorex me doing this? Well, wait a minute. We sought out to step out to do this. We were open to if anything happened from it, but we're also keeping it like this because of the person that we chose to express this with, in this manner, in this form. And I'm sure it seems very strategic and calculating, but it's also very spontaneous, and it's as much as you give yourself to the process is what you feel, is what you're open to feeling, is what you allow to manifest. Be it heartbreak, pain, anger, learning how to cope and deal with these feelings, with rejection, with someone not being interested in you at all, with you pursuing someone and them not being interested, or them putting you in this friend zone. Let's just be friends. I don't feel about you that way. I don't see you in that. I see you as a sister. I see you as a friend. I see you as a mother. Oh, God forbid. You know? And so you got all of this going. And now, like I said, this is very personal for me. It's about realizing what the personality was up to. The self is like, you see you? Do you see you? This is you. Okay? And we have come full circle back around. And it is time again. Okay? But this time around, we've got to do it for real. And so it's like, oh my goodness, oh my Jesus. And then you've got yourself saying, you this is what you were designed for. You have honored, you have come into contact with your sexual energies, your frequency and your spectrum. You know yourself from this aspect of where you stand, where you're rooted, where you're grounded, the fruit that you produce from this. Now, are you ready to take it to the next level? Are you ready to expand upon that consciousness? Because everything must change. And your state of isolation and solidarity needs to expand with a partner now. And you've matured to where you can handle that. You can handle having it, and you can handle not having it. Either choice is yours. Either way, you're going to be fine. But it's up to you. And this is this card. This is the card telling us that it's coming to an even greater degree in this cycle and season. So get ready for it. Don't be surprised by it. This is what you have manifested. This is what you have been calling to you. This is what you have been making. This is your gospel. This is what you have been God spelling. Okay? For the past 20-something years. For the past 30-something years. Okay? The more you give love, the more you experience it. Real love. Not unreciprocated. Not fake love. Not pretend love. Not little itty bitty love. Okay? Not big love. A love that is without labels. That is unlimited. A love that calls to it and manifests fruits and multiplies its own fruit. That's what you're ready for. Because now you know the difference. You know the difference between love and unconditional love and conditional love. And you know which one you want to be. And you know which one you want to give. And you know which one you want to receive. Because you've reflected upon the self in solitude. And you're confident enough now to, with your seriousness, observe a partner, a potential partner, and say, let me get to know you a little bit better. Not sexually, not penetration or that kind of sex, but intimately, sensually. I want to get to know you on that level and see where things go. Of course, do make sure that you are also open to receiving the love that comes to you from God, the angels, and other people. So understand that once you send this frequency, this SOS out there, that it's going to be answered. Okay? And understand that what you're receiving is the Most High. What you're receiving is God, is the expanding consciousness of God in the forms of those beings that respond to you. And you have to be mature enough to choose which one you're going to connect with on a sexual basis as your mate to become one with God with. And to expand that consciousness and to manifest a paradise on earth. That's it. That's the romance. Alrighty. The next card, couple of cards, okay. Oh, we got two, that's right. The first one that came was grief, beloveds. This is the first one that came through, and it is green. It is from the heart chakra, and let's get into it. Grief. Let me get a little bit into what the Chapter 4, green. Discover the wisdom of the heart. The green cards. Overall impression, love. Keywords, balance, harmony, brotherhood, hope, growth, healing, love, peace, posterity. Manifesting intention. The fourth chakra, the heart chakra, relates to matters of the heart. In manifesting, we are always blocked if our heart is not in it. There is something very pivotal about every green card, as though each one indicates a key moment of personal choice. They tell us about the heart of the matter. In this chakra, we decide whether we will proceed or whether things will get kicked back to our yellow chakra. There we spend time thinking about processing our decisions. In essence, you will see here whether your heart is truly invested in the actions you are willing to take. Every green card owns the distinction of revealing what happens when you do or don't follow your heart. The question these cards ask is, what does your heart tell you? And this is coming from the Chakra Wisdom Oracle deck by Tori Hartman. And again, the card pulled was grief. Grief, Penelope and Pickle. Grief is love without a place to go. The legend, Penelope meets Pickle, the puppy, when she is at college. They go through everything together. When the day comes much later for Mother Earth to call Pickle home, he dies in Penelope's arms. Her friends are hard on her, suggesting that she just get over her pet's death. Penelope knows she loved Pickle deeply and is simply in grief. Loving Pickle was worth every moment of sadness. When she is ready, she will love again. Inspiration. Penelope and Pickle remind us that what we reveal, we can heal. Give yourself time. You will love again. If you honor your pain, it will change your life. Personal inquiry. Is lingering grief preventing me from progress? What can I see in my heart? Key ideas. Feeling grief, healing process, missing someone, something, being unafraid of sadness. Love is on the horizon. Keywords: love, commitment, vulnerability. Meditation. Close your eyes and allow cleansing white light to wash over you. Invite someone you miss into the light. Feel the happiness this moment provides. Tell them how much you miss them and let them tell you the same. Create space for another visit in the future, if you wish. And beloveds, you can do this with simply lighting a candle and being in solitude with that and see what comes up in your heart, in that heart space, in that sacred space. And this is Penelope and Pickle. And never let somebody tell you how much you love somebody or what your love is valued at, or when that's enough, or when it's too much, or when it's not enough. Okay? Instinctively and intuitively, you know that. You don't have to listen to another evaluate and judge your love, your ability to love, your ability to receive love. Your heart knows. It knows. Have a conversation with it. Is your heart grieving? Are there vestiges or little itty bitty pieces of soul still lingering there, unforgiven, or that you can't let go, that won't allow you to be free? You need to free yourself so that you can 100% be ready to receive new love. That's that card. The last card that came from this deck is renewal. And baby, it's a bad one. Okay? That's woo! Yes. Okay. Look at that necklace. Well, that dress ornament. Okay, look at the flowers before her. Look at her hands. Look at the energy above her. Look at the halo. Look at the wreath upon her head. Let me see if I can. There we go. Let's get into this card, Renewal. And let's see. It is in the red, and beloveds, it is the very first card in the red cards. Okay, and I want to get into you. I want to get into you. I want to get into what red signifies or is revealing to us or is allowing us to receive. Okay, red is the root chakra. Red, again, is that raw sexuality that is unbiased, uncut, that is just there before the intelligence gets there, before the senses can say what this is and what that is and what this is and that is. That's coming from here and that's coming from there and it's this spot and that spot. No, the raw is all of it at once. Okay? That's the intensity of raw. Red, let your intuition be your guide. Overall impression, grounding. Keywords, vital, sexual, passionate, energized, forceful. Manifesting intention. The first chakra relates to the source of your energy and to how you are building your foundation. Think of the root chakra as a platform. The red cards represent the support you have created or are creating for your future. The root chakra cards show us a new way to bring our dreams to fruition. They denote beginnings and reveal how to create a solid foundation in tangible form. Keep this in mind. If you are not yet creating what you say you desire, you may need to grow your energetic root deeper and wider into the earth plane. Dun, dun, dun. An abundance of red cards in a reading is a strong indication of how you are building your foundation and will offer energetic ideas about what is necessary for you to manifest. These cards represent the beginning of an undertaking and may guide you away from the old ideas that no longer work in your life. Please and thank you. Red cards ask, how does this card represent the place from which I can create something extraordinary? Renewal. Let's get into it. It's on page 13, which is a 4, and it is the first card in the red chakra. Renewal, geranium. This is another beginning. The legend, geranium leaves shrivel and are stolen by the wind. She is pried from her pot and is deeply saddened when she is thrown away. But when she awakens, she is blooming once again. Now she lives in a large park, a former landfill site, surrounded by lush greenery. And her roots reach deeper than ever before, opening her to the possibilities of her new life. Inspiration. What appears to be an end may not be one after all. This may turn into a remarkable opportunity. Trust that whatever is coming is better than what you have known to this point. Personal inquiry. Am I positive in the face of change? or defeated? Am I ready to step into the new me? Key ideas: sourcing from a more beneficial place, feeling in the dark, change in circumstances, unexpected blessings. Key words: regeneration, awakening, and fortune. Meditation: imagine being discarded like geranium. The woman here is geranium, okay? She is an archetype. She is a representative of the root chakra. Imagine being discarded like geranium. Feel her fear and sadness as she surrenders to the inevitable. Now wake up in a new place. Notice how you feel. Let your feeling take you on a journey. Allow yourself to see and hear whatever experience is meant for you. Observe how you handle change. And beloved, that means you do not attach to anything. You do not anchor yourself to your persona, to your beliefs, to your thoughts, to your feelings. You allow yourself to have feelings, but understand that you also let your feelings come and go. Okay? And that your feelings will change. They will run the gamut of emotions, of frequencies and spectrums from the highest to the lowest. That's why you do not attach yourself to them, but you do observe them. You do observe them. And like geranium, you know that this is a new beginning. And when you feel that one thing has been thrown away, or that you no longer use that other thing, or you've lost that other thing and you're grieving for it, let it go. And understand that everything is changing, and that you need to be in a position to accept and receive that change in order to renew your frequency and spectrums, in order to expand your spiritual conscious awareness in this space and time. Okay? Let's go forward to the next card. 37. The next card is coming from the Iris Oracle deck, and it is Past Life, Present Power, the Many Spiritual Faces of You. And this card has come up recently too. The Sands of Times, the two cobras, the colors that are there, all are very important. The light behind in the sand, the illumination, the shadows, the up, the down flow, all of it, beloveds. Past life, present power, the many spiritual faces of you. Okay, let's see about that. Okay, that's on page 113, which is also a 5, beloveds. Okay, Past Life, Present Power. This is again the Isis Oracle by Elena Fairchild. The many spiritual faces of you. When the soul is growing in service to humanity, in service to the great feminine and her call that all beings be healed and free, it gathers internal resources to assist on the path. What was the very first card in the Medicine Woman deck, beloveds? It was resources. Okay? Not the very first card, but the first major arcana card that was gone through was resources. So once again, everything is synchronized. Everything is related. Everything is saying, listen, because it's all connected. Okay? So let's get to it. That is so powerful too, that when the soul is growing in service, you are the fruit of the Spirit. You are that soul. And so when you're growing in service to humanity, you're growing in a way that not only helps and amplifies your own self and your own spiritual conscious awareness, but also that of humanity. So individually and collectively. And this is in service to the great feminine and her call that all beings be healed and free. So you know what the Holy Spirit wants? For all beings to be healed and free. When you hold sacred space for the Holy Spirit, when you allow the Holy Spirit to channel, to dwell within you, when you keep your temple together, that is for the purpose of healing and freeing all of humanity. That is why it's important. It gathers internal resources to assist on the path. The resources are internal. They were given with the first gift, which is the breath, which is again your sexual energy, which allows you to have a creative force, just like the Creator. Okay? That is the image that we hold. Now we only need to learn how to use ourselves, how to be one with that. Let me keep going. These resources include powers and gifts from other lifetimes. You are currently integrating past life abilities, and you are guided by the Oracle of Past Life, Present Power to be open to shifting internally and in your experience of your own levels of power and spiritual ability. That means I was shown shoes and I put out, I don't know, last week or sometime about the lesson from grandmother with making your own moccasins, and how I had been all of the men that I have been wanting to achieve romance with and growing my own heart with. I have made moccasins for them. And the lesson from grandmother, from one particular one that wounded me, wounded the identity that held the lesson, I should say, and one that manifested so much and learned so much, okay, and channeled so much and revealed so much still, was to allow the person to make their own moccasins. Excuse me. And that is what this is saying. Let them make their own shoes to step into, to wear on the path that they are taking. Let them decorate it, let them sew them together, let them do whatever they need to do to craft their own shoes that are going to go on their feet. And with this, beloveds, I invite you to look up what feet mean metaphysically, what feet mean spiritually, what feet mean in dreams, what the biblical definition of feet is, okay? What that energy represents, what it's all about, what it's a symbol or sign of, okay? Because it came up in this. And again, it's funny because past life, present power. Your feet. Deep. Okay. Mm-hmm. This is your intuitive recognition that a part of your soul connected with this passionate interest. Let me start over, beloveds, because where I stopped was you are currently integrating past life abilities, and you are guided by the oracle of past life present power to be open to shifting internally and in your experience of your own levels of power and spiritual ability. Talents, abilities, and powers wish to be restored to you now from past incarnations. This will help your path. You will often be able to recognize this because you will feel some instant fascination or deep interest for a culture, philosophy, heritage, or even place on the earth or beyond, which is deeply compelling. Again, right now, we are experiencing this Pluto energy that comes around every 284 years, beloveds. So this is a manifestation for a very specific time. So understand what it is bringing up. And listen to what it is calling forward. Listen to what it is manifesting. Listen to what it's saying. Listen and observe what was past. Listen what no longer works in that realm and is dying and dead and extinct. And listen what is being reborn from that. Okay? And learn to adapt to the changes. This will help your path. You will often be able to recognize this because you feel some instant fascination or deep interest for a culture, philosophy, heritage, or even place on earth or beyond, which is deeply compelling. This is your intuitive recognition that a part of your soul, connected with the passionate interest, is being drawn into integration. At such times, there can be emotions, feelings, and even phobias or fears that temporarily arise. You may even find your taste for food and clothing, and your sleep or other health or other habits change quickly and noticeably for a time. These can all be signs that a past life energy is being integrated. Once it is digested, that word came up in the first video, digestion and the process of eating. That came up in the second as well, beloveds. As far as resources and so forth and so on, the bowls. These mechos, breathe. These messages are echoing. That's why it's coming out like this from me, because I'm receiving it a lot as it's very echoey. Okay? That's the best way for me to describe it. And it's so deep, this past life present power, to receive these echoes and to speak them and hear them echoing and reverberating. And the dolphins that came up in the cards, the sonic sounds and the sonic ripples, the waves, it's all connected. So very powerful. I'm so privileged. At such times, there can be emotions, feelings, and even phobias or fears that temporarily arise. You may even find your taste for food, clothing, and other sleep or other habits change quickly and noticeably for a time. These can all be signs that a past life energy is being integrated. So now you know, beloveds. Now you know. Listen. Once it is digested into your current incarnation, you will feel more like yourself again, but in an expanded and more whole way. I want you to understand how the Creator, how the Great Spirit, how God's cosmic creation works, how it revisits itself to expand upon itself, to feed what is rooted there, to feed those rooted places, allow new shoots to grow. It allows the rejuvenation. It allows the producing of new fruits eternally. This is what all of this is meaning, beloveds. We are in God's image. Birth, death, and rebirth is part of that. And you need to be aware of it. And you need to understand where the cunningness came in the story of Adam and Eve. When Eve was told, oh, you want to be like God? Touch it, eat it, digest it. The knowledge of good and bad. Then you'll know as much as God knows. You'll know what God knows. You'll be just like God. And Eve, in her spiritual youth, her spiritual naivete, her not listening fully, her receiving what she received from Adam, who obviously did not listen fully. Thought that they were separate. That they were only aspects of the Creator, of God. That they were outside. That they lived in this paradise garden, but they were out of reach, out of direct contact, there was no intimacy. They did not revere the relationship they had. As a matter of fact, they didn't like themselves. They wanted to be God, not understanding you already are. Be careful of the cunning of someone telling you you're not what you think you are. Or you are what you think you are. You that bad, are you really? God will never love you. You did this, that, and the other. You had this, that, and the other done to you. Did to you. You still doing it. Let it all go. That's the personality that holds on to those things. That's the identity that you gave the personality. The human personality. And the human personality holds on to it because that's what makes it alive. That's what keeps it alive. That's what keeps it feeling, thinking, knowing. That's what keeps it separate from God. Never good enough. Or always reaching out. Gotta be a saint. Or be perfect to get there. The design is perfect. in the evolution and the revolution is the ascent of the Spirit. As the Holy Spirit descends and incarnates in that space that's held sacred. The valuation of the Holy Spirit defines what you manifest and what you receive, what you put out and what you get back to you. All depends on what you do with that Holy Spirit. How sacred is it to you? Once it is digested into your current incarnation, you will feel more like yourself again. Yourself again. Yourself that has no beginning and has no ending. That self. Once it is digested into your current incarnation, you will feel more like yourself again, but in an expanded and more whole way. Jesus said, there will be those that come after me that do things greater than I did. He raised the dead and walked on water. Greater than that? Whoo, sign me up. You will just feel like you are more of yourself, more stable, more full and more at home in your own being. It is a lovely state of being to enjoy, which makes any ups and downs in the integration process more bearable, a whole. When you understand what you are receiving and why you are receiving, and that you're manifesting what you're receiving, even if it is hereditary and traditional, the manifesting of it, and you feel you have no part in manifesting it. You're manifesting it through your DNA. You're manifesting it because through one man sin entered into the world, and it repeats. The sins of the Father repeat. So do not understand why you encounter, why you manifest, why you receive certain treatment, certain situations and circumstances. Do the power, the empowerment comes from not taking it personal, because you understand. You see it. I see you. I hear you. I hear the lesson of you. I don't take you personal. I see you coming, and I'm going to watch you go, and I'm going to still be me. Who is me? Me is the undividable, undivisible self. Beyond time and space, beyond gender, beyond race, beyond color. There are no limits. There are no definitions. There are no labels. There are no boxes that can hold that. Knowing that, integrating that, that's a work of art. That's a unique expression. That is what each and every one of us is here to do. Let's keep going, beloveds. This oracle brings specific guidance that some of these past gifts from other incarnations are associated with ancient Egypt and civilizations connected with ancient Egypt, earthly and beyond, including some star civilizations such as Sirius and the Pleiades. Look for the symbols, books, crystals, or colors that interest you and pay attention to your dreams. If it is helpful to be conscious of any issues around the past life skills returning to you now, you will become aware of them so that you can be acknowledged, accepted, and released. Often when integration is occurring, people who have been connected to you in such lifetimes become a more prominent part of your life. It is possible that they will remain thus, or that in the integration happens and you continue to grow, some of those relationships will fall away. As you have completed the karmic healing and integration of the energies associated with that past life, distill the golden gift and are ready to move on. This may take weeks, months, or even in some cases years. The ritual below will, however, facilitate the process with some more efficiency, but you must trust in your timing for such matters as your own soul is guiding the process and knows exactly what it is doing. Do not be rushed. Do not allow others to rush your progress, your process. Okay? Take your time. You are beyond time and space. Don't get caught up in someone else's watch, in someone else's expectations and thoughts about your progress, your process, where they think you should be based upon where they think or thought they would be. Okay? You are not them. So the fact that they want to compare you to them shows you their narcissistic tendencies. You're not trying to be them. You're being you. You're on your clock. You're on your own space and time. You're spinning your own dime. You're in your own lane, following your own lines. It's not about them and theirs and what they did and how they did and blah, 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 blah. That's all nice. And I thank you and I listen and I receive. But this is mine. And I have to carry it like it's my own baby that I'm giving birth to. This is my creation. This is myself that is developing itself. Not based on you, but based on the Creator. Allow that. And they should have no problem allowing that. And they find ways to say that to people so that in ways that they can receive it. You know, I have to take my route. I know that's what you did and how you would do it. I'm not you. You have to allow me to be me. You have to allow me to do it my way. If that means I have to bust my head down to the white meat and bleed all over myself to realize, to get there, allow me to do it. Love me enough to let me do it. Because it is only in the doing that I realize I am being what I need to be in order to be. That's how I gain the muscle memory. That's how I gain the past life memories back. That's how I get my old gifts back. If it's required of me to bust my head down to the white meat, move. Move. Love me enough to move. Love me enough to say, go ahead, baby, I got you. I got the towel and the alcohol and whatever else you may need after you get through busting your head down to the white meat. I'll be right here. I got you. But you go ahead. You got to do this. You got to do this your way. That's the lesson I learned with my children. Whew! Hardest lesson in the world. Hardest lesson in the world. I still have to catch myself sometime. Let them take them baby steps. They're going to fall on their ass. They're going to cry. They're going to whine. But they're going to get back up if you leave them alone. And they're going to know they can get back up without anybody's help, especially yours. So shut up. Move. Allow them to grow. And explain to them, this is how you grow. This is how everybody grows. It ain't easy, but this is the real way to get there. And sometimes they'll listen and sometimes they won't, beloveds. And you have to, again, say in your time, you'll get there. If it's not this lifetime, it'll be the next. And understand that's how the design works. So don't get yourself all worried and frustrated and caught up in they not listening to me. I'm not a good mother. Blah, 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 blah. Look at the world that you're living in, that you're existing in, that you came from. It's still teaching you how to be a person instead of how to be spiritual. Because personhood keeps this world that we are aware of, this dream, alive. But many of us are waking up from it. And we're understanding this is a false, this is an illusion, this is a dream, this is an imposter. This is not real, this is not reality, this is not truth. Let me keep going. 107. Hour and 7 minutes. Okay. Often when integration is occurring, people who have been connected to you in such lifetimes become a more prominent part in your life. If it is possible that they will remain thus, and that as the integration happens and continues to grow, some of those relationships will fall away as you have completed the karmic healing and integration of the energies associated with that past life, distilled the gift, the golden gift, and are ready to move on. Understand things that happen to you that make no sense with other beings is sometimes you're just completing the karmic healing and integration of that cycle, okay? Or you're seeding the next phase with that being, and then that's it. You have nothing else with that being. You have no more contact. Quit trying to hold that person into your life when they are not supposed to be there. This may take weeks, months, or in some cases years. The ritual below will, however, facilitate the process with some more efficiently, but you must trust in your timing for such matters, as your own soul is guiding the process and knows exactly what it is doing. This is the multiverse. This is the future, the past, present, and future all being one. Okay? This is the sight of God. In order to see things this way, in order to be conscious of things in this way, this is how you become more godly. This is how you become more like the Creator Spirit, the Great Spirit. Because you understand the context of time. and what it holds, what it subtracts, what it adds, what it multiplies, and how it divides. You see it all. And there is no separation. It's just the words and the way you feel about the words. To enable the soul awakening to occur, purification and time to assimilate the healing is recommended. You can accomplish this through rest, time in nature, prayer, that your power be exercised with love and mercy, and a willingness to be guided by the Divine Mother Lady Isis, who loves you unconditionally. Use the prayer of past life present power below and the healing ritual whenever you intuitively feel you need it. Also, know that as wonderful as it sounds to retrieve past life power and ability, it is not always without challenge. We often need to be willing to be fluid in our understanding and express an experience of ourselves. That is so powerful. Let me read that again. We often need to be willing to be fluid in our understanding and experience of ourselves. You need to know that you are understanding and experiencing yourself all at the same time. And you're not doing it as a personality. You're doing it as that spirit. That spirit is observing everything. Everything that is happening in this world is happening to the persona, not to the spirit. The spirit is not being touched. The spirit is not being slapped, popped. It's not being lauded. It's not becoming somebody's bestie. It's not becoming somebody's enemy. The spirit is just the spirit. It's just one. But it exists in everything. And it sees itself in everything. In everyone. Past, present, and future all at once. Like I said, it's hard for the human mind to wrap itself around. But we have to get there. Once we keep expanding our spiritual conscious awareness, that will expand as well. And vastness itself will expand. Space and time will expand. We need to be open to reframing our idea of ourselves as more spiritually connected, more powerful, and more responsible for our light on this earth. That can be confronting at times. We often have to let go of any fear or disappointment we suffered in the relevant past life before the gift can be restored to us in a useful way this lifetime. You can rest assured that anything you need to know in order to heal will come to your awareness. You may or may not see the whole picture, or if you do not, then it isn't necessary for healing. We are always given more than enough to be able to heal. It is just a matter of being attentive, listening, seeing, being attentive and aware of what is happening right before us in our lives, and realizing that if we follow any pain, we will find what needs healing. Then the gift hidden within the pain can be released. The oracle of past life present power indicates that the gift found in our healing will be past life talents and abilities. As with all spiritual instruction contained in this oracle as a whole, the Lady Isis will watch over you and assist with the process once you ask her in unconditional love. For me, this Lady Isis represents the Holy Spirit, beloveds. So it is not a particular being that was born that I am using as a guide. The particular energy, essence, is the Holy Spirit. no matter what else is attached to that. And what else that can be attached? Goddess, priestess, this light, that frequency, that spectrum, blah, blah, blah. This name, that name, blah, 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 blah. It's the Holy Spirit. When everything else is boiled away, it's the Holy Spirit. What is the root of it? Of all of it? It's the Holy Spirit. Okay. Don't get lost in the titles. Don't get lost in the imaginations. Don't get lost in the cultures of the personalities. Okay? That were used, that are used. Integrate all of it and understand what you're integrating and what you're dealing with, the energies that you're dealing with that are here to assist you, just as they assisted that being long ago. And that being took on the attributes of the Holy Spirit in the eyes of those who bore witness or observed the Holy Spirit affecting their life, the outcome of matter. Okay? As with all spiritual instruction contained in this oracle as a whole, the Lady Isis will watch over you and assist with the process once you ask her in unconditional love. Ritual of past life present power. Close your eyes and visualize or sense a wheel-like spectrum. I'm sorry. I'm seeing stuff now, Lord. It wasn't a wheel-like spectrum. It's a wheel-like structure. I'm listening. With many spokes like the wheel of a bicycle, but made out of light. Imagine that you are at the center of the wheel, where all the spokes meet. There is a vast circle of light that forms the outer section of the wheel, and this represents the boundaries of your soul. The light around the outside grows bright and luminous gold until it begins to overflow, flowing as pure light along all the spokes of the wheel, sending light into the center. From your peaceful position at the center of the wheel, you notice that certain spokes are beginning to glow more strongly than others. Allow yourself to open your heart and receive the light from these spokes of the wheel, representing different lifetimes, flowing as golden light into the center of the wheel. I can feel this flame in my throat now. That's interesting. Rest with this and say aloud, I now call back to me, through unconditional love and grace, all past life skill and ability that can assist me in my high destiny. I pray for mercy and compassion as I grow in wisdom and ability. Help me now, beloved Isis, who loves me unconditionally, to experience this process easily and exercise its effects with love and mercy. Of my own free will, so be it. The light from the spokes glows strong and flows to you in the center, into your heart, as pure golden light. You will receive the perfect amount of light that will feed your soul. The chakra cards. Green is the heart, and red, the root chakra, renewal. Pay attention, beloveds. Oh, Mama, I'm listening. My spirit is here. I'm listening. You may feel a lot of sensation or not much at all, and either is fine. Just allow your process to be as it is and know it is happening. Finally see, sense, or feel the entire wheel filled with light turning and flowing on in its own natural way, with you at the center, feeling the vastness of you. When you are ready, just open your eyes. prayer of past life, present power. You can say this incantation. We spoke of spells, God spells. At any time that you have the sense of past life energy being relevant in your life, and you need help, clarity, or guidance to manage the situation as consciously as possible. I call back to me through unconditional love and grace the past life energy that fills this situation and place. Let my past and present life ability help me reach my highest destiny. I call for clarity, insight, and peace, a place of empowerment I now reach. And this is through your spirit, beloveds. This is not through your flesh. Understand what is being spoken. Understand what you are being asked to integrate. The last card, beloveds, comes from the 2013 Oracle. And again, we just had this card. Okay, there we go. And this is card number 8. 2024 is an 8. I said this when I pulled this card on my Blog Talk Radio show. This card is Moon Goddess. Passages. Everything we've been talking about has been passages and paths through the chakras, passages and paths through the heart, through the root, passages and paths through romantic relationship, passages and paths through listening to the great teacher, passages and paths that have taken place throughout your life, and now you're reflecting upon them, receiving them, and understanding them, breaking them down, digesting them in a spiritual way to gain the nutrients of them and to let go of the waste that no longer nourishes or provides nourishment, okay? That have decayed, like the thought the geranium had died, let it go. But the geranium was planted in a park and it started growing. Renewal. Understand this is the moon. Understand the energy and the essence that is speaking to you. Number 8, again, riding the beast. Number 8, Moon Goddess passages. A pearl falls from the clamshell, rolls around inside a black bowl, pours down light from above on the dark figures of women with upstretched arms. That is so profound. Pearls fall from the clamshell, rolls around in a black bowl. What I'm getting from that is the black bowl is space. The pearls are the stars, moons, the structures, planets. Those are the pearls. Okay? And the light that is pouring down is received by the divine feminine within each and every one of us. Okay? On the dark figures of women with upstretched arms. So it is particularly for those women who are calling out to their ancestors, to their greater knowledge, to their past powerful selves for balance, for equilibrium, for your abilities to be received once again, to bring about healing on the planet Earth. Let's keep going. Moon goddess is draped across her throne of time, one leg hooked over the armrest. She playfully strokes her companion rabbit, held in the crook of her arm. Her headdress swirls with the numbers 1 through 28. It's communication, the letters came up. Listening. Letters of love, of wisdom. ABCs, numbers. They speak languages. Her headdress swirls with the numbers 1 through 28. She holds council with Monkey and a group of astronomer priests and priestesses. Monkey sits before a book with brush and ink while he gestures with his long, skinny left arm, ink splashing from the brush as he talks excitedly. Moon goddess smiles indulgently. Moon goddess is great rainbow woman and visits us night after night, month after month, year after year, until our round on earth is completed. Meanwhile, Moon goddess is a passionate guide for life's journeys. Moon goddess weaves our destiny into phases as we mark the passages of our lives. Baby, I told you all of this is connected. I told you all of this would speak in a way that was everything that from the Jehovah's Witnesses little pink book, The Great Teacher. Listening to the great teacher. All of this is still listening to the great teacher. It's being pointed out and directed in a way that underlines all is connected. All is spiritual. Moon goddess weaves our destiny into phases as we mark the passages of our lives. The phases of the moon, beloved. She witnesses the principal events such as conception, birth, maturity, and death. She encircles us day and night. She is our constant companion and exerts irresistible influence over us. She tugs at the blood pumping through our bodies. She is present even in the day, although we do not see her. Understand and understand. Her shining face in all its aspects intertwines us with her rhythm. Moon goddess speaks to our blood. Again, the blood is coming up. And the circulation thereof. And we answer. Whoops. Okay. Sorry about that. It's going to be a little bit dark. Let's see here. Let me turn that back on. Okay, beloveds. Let's get back to where we were. And let's see here. Okay. Ancient people. Woo! Okay. There's a lot going on. Hold on, beloveds. Her shining face in all its aspects intertwines us with her rhythm. Moon goddess speaks of our blood and we answer. Moon goddess speaks to the earth's blood and the watery deep answers. When we meditate on Moon goddess, we become conscious of the water in our blood, saliva, bile, tears, and sweat, and acknowledge that we are bound to her. She is our mother, and we feel her in every cell of our being. We see that there is no separation. Ancient people paid strict attention to the heavenly vault, the sun, moon, Venus, and the stars in their courses. I want to give a shout out to my Venus connection, Damascena Tanis. She's on my Facebook page. I just shared some of her postings about what is going on in astrology. Okay, we're just going to leave it. And everything that is going on. So let's move forward. Again, I'm sorry about the light keeps going out, beloveds. Let me put it back on. Okay, beloveds, we got the light back on. Sorry about that. Water. Okay. When we meditate on Moon Goddess, we become conscious of the water in our blood, saliva, bile, tears, and sweat, and acknowledge that we are bound to her. She is our mother, and we feel her in every cell of our being. We see that there is no separation. Ancient people paid strict attention to the heavenly vault, the sun, moon, Venus, and the stars in their courses. The beginning of solar ceremonies are plotted by the full moon. The ancients saw that the macrocosm was a direct influence on every aspect of life. This understanding has been lost. The moon unfailingly provides humans with a series of cadences. Again, the dolphins, the sonic, the sonar, the listening, beloveds, to the celestial, okay? Her body pulls on our home with such a dynamic force that we become a double planet, yet we look uncomprehendingly at her in the sky, if we look at all. Women who want to honor the goddess can explore the creation of a moon lodge where they can be present in a sacred space with others once a month. Men may want to address their feelings about the feminine and menstruation as an integral part of reproduction, instead of men demanding that a woman not be able to get an abortion, no matter what, if her body is miscarrying that baby, if the baby is a product of rape, no matter what the woman wants. If men can sit down and discuss with other men and other women the cycles of the moon and what it has to do with the menstrual period of women, when women are too young to have a period, when women come on their period, and when a woman's period stops in menopause. These things need to be studied. These things need to be known. These things need to be honored as sacred. Okay? And these things need to be left in a woman's world. This is not of man. Man does not bleed monthly. He can have the wisdom, he can have the knowledge, he can hold on to it. He can hold sacred space for her. But he does not have a period. So he has no say in what her body holds or what it lets go of when it comes to his semen. That needs to be honored. That needs to be understood. That needs to be taught And it needs to be taught in younger grades where a little girl and a little boy is going to know what happens as their body develops physically, what their body is getting ready to get ready for is the reproduction of another human life and what goes into that, and that is something serious and it's nothing to be played with, and it's nothing to be disrespected or dishonored or entered into lightly. Meaning you just don't get to sex and boom, you go about your business. You are linked forever by having sex and sexual intercourse. Okay? You need to understand this. The children need to understand this. We need to teach what holy and sacred is again, and that a woman is sacred and holy. Not a slut, not a whore, not a toy to be played with, not a doll, not a Barbie, but a image of the goddess, whole and holy. And that it is her essence that serves humanity. So she needs to be understood. Space, sacred space needs to be made for her in the conscious awareness, in the spiritual conscious awareness, in the reception of her, how to receive her, and how to multiply her gifts, how to receive her gifts, how to recognize her gifts. Men may want to address their feelings about the feminine and menstruation as an integral part of reproduction. And I want you to understand reproduction is a cosmic word. And you really have to listen to that word and understand what it means in reproduction. It's just not sexual or replicating another human being or reproducing another human being. Okay? Menses is wrapped in an uncomfortable silence in our culture. A lack of understanding and rejection of the feminine leads to a harsh dismissal of the emotional and psychological aspects of this cycle. That's why we have wars. Our greatest magicians, the scientists, have gathered very little empirical evidence about the effects of the moon on the physical lives of women and men, but they were extremely interested in putting man on the moon. Moon Goddess offered us a measure upon which we organize to become a human community and a culture. Understand that. It was Cain who built cities of humans, human beings, and the vices that comes with cities, and the expansion of cities, the multiplying of those vices, so to speak, and the expansion of those vices, and the reproduction of those vices. Excuse me. But It is the woman, beloveds. It is the woman who shows the way of the caretaker, the virtues of the fruitage of the Spirit. It is she that shepherds those virtues. And it needs to be understood and understood. Just like the water, the blood, on a cellular level as well as a cosmic level. The integration of all of this is happening. And we are observing it happening. Moon Goddess offered us a measure upon which we organize to become a human community and culture. Without her, we fall into an alienation and chaos. We physically deteriorate and perish. Ancient humankind was thrown into upheaval during lunar eclipses because they feared it signaled a tumultuous cosmic shift. Their observation of cosmic events had shown that interplanetary and stellar behavior profoundly influenced life on Earth. They knew that solar and lunar geomagnetic forces were mutable and ever-changing. Moon Goddess taught humans ceremonial design. That's so powerful. If you were taught ceremonial design, then you have integrated certain patterns, certain cosmic patterns, certain cosmic principles. You understand the language of spirit in a way that most do not. And ceremonial is an appearance. It is a focal point. It is what is embellished to see a particular point, perspective, view. We're speaking of the lunar. So glean all that you can from this, beloveds, because this is very full. Let me keep going. And understand, without the lunar, without the feminine, we deteriorate and perish. Moon Goddess taught humans ceremonial design. Lunar passages are a ritual template. She waxes, she wanes, she disappears, and is resurrected. This is one of her multifaceted gifts to humankind. See the sun in that. See the Messiah in that. Each of us as a Messiah waxing and waning, disappearing and being resurrected again. This is one of her multifaceted gifts to humankind. The flow of the seasons on the wheel of existence and the great panorama of her faces offers us a cosmic pulse. Wrap yourself in her silvery garment of brightness. Again, we have faces. Past, life, present, power, the many spiritual faces of you. Past, life, present, power, the many different faces of you. Moon Goddess, This is one of her multifaceted gifts to humankind. The flow of the seasons on the wheel of existence and the great panorama of her faces offers us a cosmic pulse. Listen, a cosmic pulse Wrap yourself in her silvery garment of brightness. Moon Goddess in your reading signals the need for a ritual calendar in your life. Don't be surprised to find yourself scouring texts from your tradition to create ceremony for yourself and others, even if it's just a Sunday dinner. Aligned with the moon, a full moon, half moon, whatever you choose. Honor, bring honor, even if it's just lighting a candle. You're expanding your spiritual conscious awareness of the moon. You're opening up to that essence, to that energy to receive, to replicate, to multiply. The waters of your life, within your life. Examine the deeper meaning of the holidays you keep. Is it time to reconfigure your calendar? Bring moon cycles into your daily routine. Plant and harvest accordingly. Look beyond the immediate to the power behind the scenes. Plant and harvest accordingly. Understand the spiritual seeds that you're planting, okay? And that you're harvesting accordingly to the cycles of the moon, to the waning and waxing, to the seasons. Be aware. Moon Goddess radiates powerful intuition. She offers you the milk of human evolution and of human kindness. Beneficent is her nature. The moon has promised to serve the people until the end of time. I will be a comfort in the night and a beacon to guide you, says Moon Goddess. I will mark your human trail with measure and beauty. She calls to you even in the darkest night. And that is the cards, beloveds, and this is the end of this series. And like I said, it's been very powerful. It's been very powerful. It is very powerful. I hope it helps you ground yourself. I hope it helps you with your grief. I hope it helps you with your renewal. I hope it helps you with connecting your root to your heart chakra. Okay? That is where we are in the moment. And we are traveling through. We are at the heart now. And we're at the heart in spring. The heart will start to manifest many different things in the springtime. There's many things that are going on, that are going to be going on in this 8 cycle, this 2024. Okay, this realigning of Pluto after 284 years. Think of all the things that have happened in 284 years. Think of what will happen in the next 284 years. I want you to use your imagination because we are going to be manifesting. And I want you to understand and understand that that which does not serve is being eliminated. That which is a lie is extinct, and it has worn out its welcome. And when the vibration and frequency of it is no longer welcomed by a vast majority, it will be let go. It will be removed. Change will happen. And the influence of those things, that is going to be passing away now. Do you know why? Because your spirit, it is not your intellect that is expanding on getting bigger. It is your spiritual conscious awareness. That's a whole different world, a whole different existence, a whole different frequency and spectrum than your mind's knowledge and understanding and observation of how things are as far as perspectives, philosophies, religions, governments, and so forth and so on. The spirit has a completely different view of those things. And so, rest and be assured that as this old fades away, it will not linger as it has. It will be extinct, just like the dinosaurs. Be distant memories. And that's going to do it, beloveds. 151:25. Okay. I'll add that up later, but for some reason I need to know that. But okay. Namaste, beloveds. This is Mother with Wisdom, and I hope you have enjoyed, and I hope you do enjoy these videos and the information that is shared within it. Please subscribe to the channel and ring the bell for notifications, and pass the video on to those whom you think would be interested in this kind of content, this kind of information. Thank you. Namaste.